Hey everyone, welcome to the second episode of my vlog series. Today I am coming to you from the infamous drum room at KM High School. And just to recap, last time we talked about the physics behind sound and how sound is actually produced, as well as how instruments make different notes and pitches. And today we are going to move on and talk about an effect that's actually really essential in music production, reverb. So reverb is actually a very common effect used in music production, and its purpose is to give the song a sense of space. So for example, if you're listening to music and it sounds like you're sitting in a giant stadium and listening to this huge song while a band performs it for you, even though you're only listening to it on your earbuds, this is all due to reverberation. So in order to fully understand how to use reverb and what it does, we can study how sound travels in different spaces. When a sound wave travels to the end of its medium and hits some sort of barrier, a reflection is created. When the sound wave hits this wall or barrier, the reflection is perceived as either an echo or as reverberation. Echoes occur when the sound wave takes over 1/10 of a second to travel back to our ears. For example, if you were standing inside of a cave and you yelled, if the walls of the cave are over about 17 meters away from you, just based on the speed of sound and how it travels, you would hear a delay between the original sound that you created and the echo that you hear back to you afterwards. Reverb is very similar to delay and echo, but each have their defining characteristics. Reverberation occurs when it takes less than 1/10 of a second for a sound to be reflected back at its source. This causes the sound waves to combine and act as a prolonged wave with less delay in between the original and reflected sound. This graph shows how we perceive reflected sound over time. An example of when you can hear this effect is if you sing in the shower. The sound of your voice bounces off the close walls of the shower, creating really elongated tones, which is why your voice might sound really huge or operatic. This diagram shows how reverberation occurs naturally in live musical performances. These same effects can be recreated digitally in order to give music the feeling that it is being played in some sort of room. To give you a basic example of this, I prepared a drum beat in Ableton Live. I will play it once with no effects, a second time with just delay or echo, and a third time with reverb so that you can hear the difference between the three. To digitally recreate the sounds of natural reverb or delay, the system will either electronically lengthen or repeat the sound waveforms in order to create the desired atmosphere. Now that you know how natural and digital reverberation works, you can use it stylistically in your recordings. Natural reverberation on instruments can be captured using separate microphones placed at a distance in a room to capture the acoustics and sound of that space. Digitally, you can recreate the sound of reverb using plugins or effects to electronically manipulate your recording. A fun trick that you can use in addition to reverb is a noise gate. This imaginary gate will cut off any reverberation after the track falls below a certain specified decibel level. This will give your recording a very distinct, punchy, huge sound, and is most often used on drums to give them a very atmospheric feeling. Listen to this snare drum sample as I add reverb to it and then adjust a noise gate on top of it. You will hear a distinct difference in the simulated acoustics. That concludes our lesson for today on the physics of reverb in a music production setting. I hope that you all learned something and it helps you with your endeavors in production later on so that you can better understand how to make your song sound like it's taking place in a certain space and has atmosphere to it using reverb effects and such. So let's move on to our song of the day.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Alright, welcome to the Song of the Day segment. Today's song is Bad Man's Song from the album The Seeds of Love by Tears for Fears. This is actually my favorite album of all time. Every song on here is amazing, so I definitely recommend that you check this one out. But Bad Man's Song is particularly good. It's bluesy, like almost a jam session. It's like 8 minutes long and it's just pure rock and roll awesomeness. Check it out. Join us next time to learn about the physics behind an essential mixing technique, compression. Thanks for watching.